your view. Thanks for staying with us. The Nigerians, according to reports, are buying and consuming more quantities of the unhealthiest form of unbranded vegetable oil. Studies show that over the years, about 200,000 Nigerians have been dying yearly from various forms and levels of food poisoning and unhealthy cooking oil. Joining us on the show is a registered dietitian and nutritionist, Ms. Uchechi Umechi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to have you.
So before we have this conversation, we have a vox pop of those who went out to ask them about using unbranded oil. Watch this.
No, I don't use unbranded oil.
So why don't you use unbranded oil?
Because I have specific brands that I use, and I just believe in those brands. I wouldn't want to try an oil that doesn't have the brand name on it because I don't trust the company, or I don't even know what company it's from. So yeah, that's why.
There was this health issue that propped up my family, so we did research, and then doctors told us that it was not good, and since then we stopped permanently.
Okay, so do you know any side effects of using unbranded oil?
Cholesterol. The cholesterol leads to one thing like sickness, so high blood pressure and all of that.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, unbranded oil. Recently, my mother-in-law and I were in the car together, and we stopped to buy oil.
Okay.
And she was insisting on the unbranded oil. I said, Mommy, let's buy this brand. What's your? She wanted the one that they poured in the bottle. I said, if the price is the issue, I'll pay for it. No, she just felt that she believed more in that one that was unbranded. Okay, original and and I said, Mommy, it's not. This is the branded one. But she was insisting. So when this campaign started, I now realized that there are people actually that believe and trust those ones they pour in nylon bags and bottles. In your experience as a nutritionist, why should we stop using all those untrusted and unbranded oils?
Okay, yeah. Unbranded oil, like we just watched the clip now, they can predispose individuals to too much intake of saturated fatty acids and trans fats, which will in turn make individuals contract diseases like high blood pressure, clogged arteries. You know, when the arteries are clogged, they can make you have blood pressure problems, cardiovascular diseases. And this is because most of these unbranded oil, they are not regulated. You know, they are being smuggled in one way or the other into the country.
Right.
And then the means of handling them, you have contaminants that could find their way into these oils, like chemicals that may not be safe for consumption. And then you notice that most times these unbranded oil are poured in bottles that most times you don't even know where they get these bottles from. Sometimes from gutters. Are you sure of the cleaning process? Have they been well cleaned? So in these processes, contaminants can get into those oils, and in the process...
Can I ask you, because you're talking about unbranded oil, and I remember growing up as a child, it was only unbranded oil I saw. And you would go to the kidney and it was groundnut oil. Mostly it was groundnut oil, and they use that thing to sell it. That's funnel. Yeah. To sell it. You buy, if you want 50 naira own, you will get 50 naira. If you want half bottle, full bottle. Yeah. So, and well, I'm still here.
You don't have cholesterol problem.
I don't have cholesterol.
Yes, but you're correct. The effect of these things over time, it will show over time. It's not as if it's something that would happen. Yes, you will say, yes, our mothers in those days, they've been taking it. What happened to them? But the effect comes over time. And then let me tell you something, that the processing of these oils to have effects on them, because you don't know the type of processes they use. The nutrients, like the antioxidants that you find in oil, they are depleted. When the antioxidants are supposed to protect the body, yes, oils are good. Oils are perfect. They must be contained in our diet. So, because they have beneficial values for us. So the processing of these kind of unbranded oils will affect those nutrients that we have in them, the antioxidant properties, the trans fats that are in them. So over time...
What's trans fats?
is the oil
oily oil that has cholesterol, that when it enters inside your artery, it clogs the artery and the blood cannot flow again. That's trans fat.
The bad side of oil, yes. Like the constant intake of such oil.
Question.
Well,
Asking.
I
Yes, go ahead.
to say that, you know, we like good things. Nobody will walk into a store or a shop, a supermarket, and see something fantastic, looking good and beautiful, and will not want to buy. But sometimes we don't have money, you know. A lot of people
You just said of Mariah's mother-in-law. She wanted the unbranded one.
A lot of people are below minimum wage. Now, these unbranded oils are cheap.
Yes.
You can buy 15 naira oil for your jollof rice, 150 naira oil. But with the branded oil, we see that they have they're packaged and they're more expensive. So how do you explain to someone who doesn't even have enough money to feed that this oil is better for you?
Now, we should look at the future, not just the immediate gain or benefit.
Right.
Yeah? Look at the future. If it will take you just a little margin to get something good for yourself or for your body, or what will make you healthier, why don't you go for it?
Right.
This life is just once. And you know what we say, the system, the computer, it's garbage in, garbage out. Yeah?
And interesting, interesting. I actually noticed that most of these oils now have the 15 naira packs.
Oh, really?
So they've rebranded. I've seen a lot of them. They protect a lot of
Affordable packs.
affordable packs. Right, because that's a really valid point. Because people, it's cheaper, it's accessible, it's faster. Because you just want to really fry small plantain. I've seen them fry small plantain. You're not going to buy a branded oil. So those 15 naira ones are actually now, most brands are now using it.
I wanted to happen two things, which is processing. We had a dermatologist once say that palm oil is very good. It's the process of bleaching it that makes it dangerous. So if you do not know how your unbranded oil is processed, it becomes a dangerous commodity that you're taking in. Plus, we also had a nutritionist once who was saying that oils are even bad. She showed how if you take cold water with oil, it becomes inside your system to even run away from them. So if you have branded oil that has taken care of that process, for instance, it's groundnut oil, we have made sure that when you fry with just 1 spoon or 2 spoons, it doesn't coagulate in your system, is best. But how do we even get unbranded oil in the markets in the first instance? Are you the right person to ask?
No, let me ask another question in addition to that. How do you even select the right oil? Because we see all these cholesterol-free, soya bean-free, also many things are selling gimmicks. Which ones should we pick?
And which, because they said there are some bad vegetable oils. Yes. Which ones are the good vegetable oils?
Yes, when you go to purchase your vegetable oils, especially branded oil now, we've all agreed now that the branded oils are better because they have been, the nutrients there you can see. At the back side of most of your packaged food, you see where we have something like nutrition, fats. Yes. So here you have all the nutrients contained in such products. Now you may be in a fix. Okay, I've gotten into a supermarket. I have 2 or 3 branded oil, right? And I have to choose which one is best. Right. So you look at the fats content. Try to choose the one that has lesser fat content. You try to pick the one that have lesser sodium content because that helps you to go away from contracting things like hypertension, cardiovascular problems and all that. Also, you look at sugar. You choose the one that is also low. Now, some packaged food still go ahead to divide their fats. We have the saturated fats, we have the unsaturated fats. Now, studies have shown that when you take too much saturated fats, it predisposes individuals to contracting cardiovascular diseases, high blood pressure, which is a link to major heart problems. So you look for the one that is lower in saturated fats and higher in unsaturated fats. Now, some of the products show just the saturated fat content. So what do? You have the total fat content, you have the saturated fat, you just do your plus and minus.
You have to be able to
read them. And you get your unsaturated fat content.
But the one that they'll just blast no cholesterol, is that good? They say no cholesterol. that's what we see.
You have to be able to read.
Actually, oils will have cholesterol. Our bodies, we our body synthesize cholesterol.
Okay.
So the campaign actually is do not ask for more.
Okay.
Your body already has this cholesterol. So why do you want to look for extra, excessive cholesterol?
Come back. I have a question
Let's
for
go on
you.
a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some questions from our audience. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. Before I jump to the audience, I wanted to ask you, what's the difference between groundnut oil, vegetable oil, soy oil? What exactly?
Canola oil.
Canola oil.
Olive oil.
Olive, I mean, they're all just...
Avocado oil.
They're like... So, when you see groundnut oil, vegetable oil, what exactly is the difference?
Okay, now we have two types of oil basically. Oils from animals and oils from vegetables or from plants based on plants. So if you call it vegetable oil, you're good. You call it soy oil, you're good. They are all from plants and they are all classed as vegetable oil. Yeah.
So those ones are better than...
Which particular one is from the animal? Which particular oil?
Oil from the meat. You know, your meat also has some fats from them. So, and they are
But they don't sell those ones.
So groundnut oil is also animal. So it's also vegetable.
Groundnut oil is from it's plants,
and
it's plants,
vegetable.
it's
So they're all
vegetable oil. They're all vegetable.
I wanted to ask, as a nutritionist, you know, what advice would you give on, you know, a lot of people are going through high blood pressure, going through having this cholesterol issue. There was a time my husband had major cholesterol issues. Even my parents-in-law, they had to avoid oil totally. So what advice do you give them on the kinds of oil to use and how the quantity?
Okay. Yeah. To prevent cardiovascular diseases, first and foremost, you think about the fats that you want to take. Reduce your fat content, your fat intake. How do you do that? First and foremost, try to use better cooking methods.
Okay.
Or yes, change your cooking methods. You, instead of frying, you could boil, you could grill, you could steam. And then even with grilling, you know, some people after grilling their stuff, they still come back to rub some oil, base it with oil again. You don't need all that.
Very sweet.
Thank you. Because I went through
let me get to
culture shock when I got to England. In my daughter's house, no oil. Huh?
Now, you both she married now.
I need oil. I'm from Nigeria. We need oil.
But
we need oil.
Right.
Oils are very, very important for daily living.
Right.
Because they have beneficial benefits that your body will usually get.
Let me rush to our audience for it because we're running out. Let me take one question. Go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Nigeria actually. Should we should we believe the nutritional facts written on this unbranded oil as true? Should we take them as true? Going by the very many means that people want you to make money in Nigeria.
Okay. So those people, they're telling us to read up on this oil. Can we believe what they're saying?
Yeah. To a very great extent. There are so many trusted brands.
Right.
There are so many trusted brands around us. So the power you have is to read those nutrition facts, and when you read them, you make do with the information that you have gotten.
Because what you're saying is that there are many ologies that will just lie on the back.
Right.
There is this thing inside and there's nothing.
Yes. So and you also have regulatory bodies,
yes,
you
like
know,
NAFDAC.
on food like NAFDAC, like SON. So most of these, before they put these nutrition facts, it must have gone through so much process.
May we not
and then NAFDAC would have certified that.
May we
right.
not
So
meet the people that put
NAFDAC number.
By themselves. Okay, Peter.
One more question from the audience. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
You just talked about oil. You said oil is good, and you emphasized it again, that oil is good. But another school of thought says it's not good. So which one should we believe then? Because I was concerned. Concerning fish, I like frying, but when they said oil is not good, I wasn't really happy. Okay. But fine. Another thing you talked about, we should take oil that is low in fats, low in this, calculate unsaturated and saturated. Those that are not very learned may not be able to calculate that. How do they go about it?
Okay. First and foremost, we have the food groups. When you look at the food groups, fat and oil are part of the food groups. And this means that you must consume foods that are with fats in them. The only thing you should have at the back of your head is that you don't overuse your fats. Now, we have calorific values of these macronutrients, the fats, the proteins, the carbohydrates. These are the things that give your body the nutrients that they need. As well as fat, is the same quantity of your fat, your proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Fat has a higher calorific content. So if you take excess of it, your body will be looking for trouble. So it's not that you would go off fat totally. Your body needs your fats for different functions, for emulsification, for movement of nutrients in your body. Your body needs fats. And again, so you need your oil. Now, you talked about
calculating saturated and unsaturated.
That was by the way. And then it's better you try to read through now and use your food as your medicine, so that later you don't use your medicine as your food. Now, the addition and subtraction was just by the way. You know, they can write it straight off. You just look at the figures and you're good.
Read and encourage those.
There is something in Nigeria.
Once you use trusted brands, you should be okay. Let me take some tweets.
Before you take the tweet, I beg. Jollof has oil. Fried rice has oil. Dundu has oil. Akara has oil. Beans has oil. There is nothing we cook in this Nigeria
flowing
that doesn't have oil.
Flowing oil.
Go ahead. So Peter Clever AK says, morning, but some of these manufacturers do lie about those contents. Adimo Andrew says Nigerians are enlightened enough to now use branded oils, as they're even packaged as low as 50 naira now. The challenge is how to regulate the oils that roadside food sellers and caterers use.
Right, so that's part of what we're trying to educate everybody, not to use unbranded oil. Because yes, if you go and buy Dundu, you can't say, Madam, did you use branded or unbranded?
They won't answer you. So should we stop buying Dundu?
No, don't stop buying Dundu.
Yourself.
Educate the Dundu seller. That's always good. And because also know that I'm just saying, know that let me make one last statement. Know that the Yasikira selling these things, they now have the 15 naira, the smaller ones. So they don't have an excuse of pouring into those plastic bags for you anymore. Instead of buying the ones that they pour into plastic bags, buy the 15 naira branded oils. It's safer.
And another thing is, you know those roadside sellers, they will keep reusing this oil.
I wanted to ask you that question.
They keep recycling this oil.
See, you can't trust that.
And you cannot trust it. So
because me, I live in the house. I recycle my own oil. When should I throw my oil away? If I fry dodo with the oil today, tomorrow I can fry fish or yam.
Fry yam.
When should I throw it away?
Now, if you men looking at the oil too, you can see that the state it was when you started using it would not be the state it would be when you use the second time.
That oil is black.
So
we have to run off. Unfortunately, that's all we can take on the show. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Madam, for coming. Unfortunately, we can't take anymore. We've run out of time. We have to say thank you also to Accolade Taste. Guess what? They're giving all of our audience sugar cane juice. Accolade Taste. They brought sugarcane juice for members of our audience. So I hope you've enjoyed the show as much. Thank you for learning. So please don't buy unbranded oil. Look for a trusted brand and purchase those so that tomorrow you won't be using medicine as your food. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.